guys, today I'm going to be showing you how you can peek a few different ways. So the first main one that we're going to be talking about is jiggle peeking, which is probably the most important method of jiggle peeking that you should learn. The next is just wide swinging. Even if you don't know what the name of this means, you probably do it. Wide swinging we'll talk about in a sec. And the last one is jump peeking. So all of these are at least somewhat important. I would say jiggle peeking is incredibly important to learn for higher level play. But jump peeking, you know, it's something you're gonna want to know, but it's not something you're gonna want to use like all the time, right? It's really good against ops. But anyways, before we start here, I'm gonna show you guys basically a really important thing of aspect of peeking. So you'll see this vision cone on the map here. Whenever I'm closer to the wall and I peek, if you see on the minimap, you see how this vision cone, it spreads really quickly. This is actually bad. What this means is that we're exposing ourselves to more angles quicker. So like if we're farther back, people you might have heard that jiggling or peeking from angles farther away is actually better. So you see how see how much slower the vision cone right here. This is a really cool way of visualizing it as well. So if as compared to here, how quickly this goes, I don't know how else to explain it in words, but basically the farther away you are from an angle, the more precise you can clear the angles. Like, I don't know how else to word it. You can just kind of see it, right? So whenever we're peeking, I want to be at least somewhat far away from angles. We don't want to be really close to them. Even if you're just like this distance, it's better than being this distance, like point blank at the wall. So anyways, continuing here, jiggle peeking is whenever you're going to like you're gonna press A and D. You're gonna start like we say we're starting right here, and we want to jiggle this right here. So we're gonna press A, stop. And then all I'm doing is pressing A, letting go of A, and then hitting D and holding it. So you can jiggle wide, or you can jiggle like really tight like this, just to try like bait an op shot or something. Like if you already know that he's opping, you don't want to like jiggle like this, obviously, because you're just gonna die. But if you kind of jiggle like really tight, you know, you might bait the op. This is where jump peeking is good, but I'm not gonna talk about that yet. So jiggling, we can show it somewhere else as well. Like if you're really wanting to jiggle all angles. A better example would be in here. You could kind of just like jiggle like this. See, I'm jiggling all potential places that they can be. And then I'm kind of walking up, jiggling again. This is if you're wanting to be like really, you know, really cautious. So obviously you don't need to clear like that every single time. But for example, I would always jiggle this just to make sure there's no one there. And I'll jiggle this for sure. But you don't have to jiggle like every single thing. Unless they're playing like a judge, then you want to be a little more cautious or something like that. But yeah. So jiggle peeking is really important. Mainly it's good for getting information. So if you go like this, we can see if anyone's there, and if someone's using a vandal, they're probably not going to one tap us if we just go like this. But you know, it's also really good for just like taking fights. You can jiggle, and whenever you're going to be standing still for a split second whenever you're holding A here. So you know, you're going to be still for a split second, and this is when you can shoot. You notice that? Like you have to stop. Your momentum has to stop whenever you're going to the left to come back to the right. So that for that split second that you're sitting still, you're going to want to shoot just like that. If you want to shoot. You don't have to shoot, because obviously shooting gives away your position. But if you do want to take a fight here and there's someone there, you can just shoot him like that. Otherwise, jiggling is good for information and taking fights like that. So it's you know, it's a pretty safe way of peeking overall. That's why you want to learn it. So next we have wide swinging. Wide swinging is where you basically just, you know, you're just running out. This is really good in 1v1s or in like clutch scenarios where you know you need to take fights. Obviously, so when this is bad, when wide swinging is bad, is whenever you're wide swinging multiple people. Because if you're wide swinging multiple people, it's going to be pretty bad for you. Still, again, we don't want to be close to the wall. We want to be farther away from the wall. It's going to be easier for us, right? And I think the farther away is going to be the better for the angles with you. You can just kind of tell how smooth this is as compared to when you get closer. It just reveals more sooner. That's a good way of putting it. It reveals more sooner if you're closer to the wall. So yeah, wide swinging, you're basically just holding A or D with the intention of taking a fight. And that's wide swinging. It's good like for the scenarios that I said. So jump peeking is whenever you're trying to bait an op shot. The way that I like to jump peek, it's kind of like a U jump. So you just jump like this. You don't want to jump out too far, because then, you know, you're just going to die to the op if there's an op. But the idea is that if there's an op and you jump like this, they're going to expect you to, whenever you're like right here, they're going to expect you to keep coming out. So they're going to shoot and they're going to miss, because you're actually going back in like a little circle, like a half circle. And you can do this on defense as well if you think that they're opping here, or if you just want to get information. You could jump like that, for example, because you can see long for a split second. Or, of course, you could just jiggle it. It's probably a little bit easier. So yeah, jump peeking can be really good, especially for defense and attack. It can be good on either, but you can jump, like, for example, back sight, see if someone's hookah, because more than likely they'll try to shoot you whenever you're doing this, but more than likely they'll miss as well. So yeah, hopefully this guide is helpful. I want to keep it short. I think my short videos do really good. If you guys have any other questions about peeking, jiggling, jump peeking, wide swinging, any of that, let me know. But without further ado, I will see you guys in the next one.